Welcome, everybody, to Buying Local. I am your host, Matt Knoth from Five Towers Media, joined today by Alicia of Downtown Dogs Spa and Boutique. I'm really excited about this conversation today because we have someone who has been doing some great things and who has been doing some very special things in our community for both pets and pet owners. So welcome, Alicia.
Thank you so much for having me, Matt.
Yeah, so like I said, you're in Glens Falls. I've had the chance to, come by the shop that you have over there, but if you could just, introduce to
Sure.
yourself and a little bit of what you do. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, as you mentioned, we are in Glens Falls, right in downtown. So we're the beginning businesses to in the revitalization of South Street, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
South Street has been pretty empty and kind of run down for the past decade or more. So we're bringing life back to this area, and it's super exciting to be in the heart of Glens Falls. And it's such a walkable, dog friendly community that it's just a perfect fit for us.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Always love to hear the communities back up
Yeah.
and thriving. Yeah, so like I mentioned, I had the chance to get over to the ribbon cutting. So what was it like sometime in December? You guys
Yeah. So it was
opened?
December 16th. So we officially opened November 20th here in the 45 South Street spot. And a little bit about me. After 20 years of healthcare and nonprofit management, I just decided to kind of get out of the corporate life and wanted to do something on my own. I knew it needed to be centered around dogs. I am very passionate about animals and dogs in particular. And like I said, Glens Falls is such a dog friendly community that it was just a natural uh, idea born from that. Once I saw this space, it was really just kind of quick decision to make it a boutique as well as grooming. For one, grooming is so needed in this community. We do have some fabulous groomers here, but there's a lot of dogs. So we just need some more options. And then the boutique is just something fun to be able to offer the community in
Yeah,
addition.
that's awesome. Yeah, if you could just expand because that's something that's kind of unique with you guys. You'll see the groomers here and there, but you don't really see the spa, the boutique aspect. I mean,
Right.
you could see just from behind you, you could see the beautiful
Yes.
products that you
Yeah.
have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you could just explain a little bit about what you guys offer in the boutique aspect.
Yeah. So, like part of our boutique or part of our spa, half of it is grooming, and then the other half is the boutique. So we offer specialty toys, treats, wearables, just a lot of different things that you're not going to find, walking into maybe Target or Petco. We do a lot of specialized USA made products.
That's awesome. It's actually cool because I going back to the ribbon cutting, I was looking at some of the products and I saw you guys had dog beer, if I'm
Yes.
correct. I
Yeah.
thought that was the coolest thing. I've never seen
Right.
anything like that, but
Yeah, a lot of just fun, different items that, people walk in and they're excited to check it out and kind of see what we have to offer.
yeah, that's awesome. So now where do a lot of them are like homemade treats and
Yeah, so we have a couple locally made things that are homemade. They obviously have to be licensed through the agricultural department, but a lot of it I do buy off of a wholesale website that's specifically USA made products. So we'll have things from Colorado or Michigan or anywhere in New York. So it comes from all over the US.
that's awesome. So
Yeah.
if people were looking to per se not in our community but they were interested in the boutique
Mhm.
a nice gift was there any place that they could go if like I said they don't have the chance to come into stores
Yeah. Yeah,
still
absolutely. Yeah, we actually do ship things out right from our website. So it's Downtown Dog Spa and Boutique. I've shipped things to Montana, to California. So that's another fun option for people.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you talked about this wasn't really your first plan career this is the second step of where you've
Right.
been. Could you kind of just touch base, expand a little bit more on, how you fell into here, your
Yeah,
reasoning
definitely.
behind all that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I knew I wanted to venture out onto my own and I wanted it to be centered around dogs. I've always grown up in a dog family. My grandparents had a very large kennel where they bred Chihuahuas when I was young, so I would help out there. But it was very important as well to be downtown. So just looking at some different options throughout the last half of the year, last year, this was the one that really stood out that was going to facilitate what my vision ended up being.
Yeah, it's awesome. And
Yeah.
it sure looks like the vision is it's coming to where I guess where you initially had it because it's the location's beautiful. But yeah, you've talked about the core history about where you are. If you know about any of that rich history of South Street, of Glens
Yeah.
Falls, yeah, just kind of what makes that place special.
Sure. I'm not a huge historian for here. I've lived here for 10 years, but my experience is that South Street has just, like I said, just needed that revitalization. So the city has done a really wonderful job of getting the right people to do the right things to be able to provide that for the city. And like I said, we're in the beginning process. There's a lot happening on this street. At the end of the spring of 2027, when it's all said and done, we'll have over 200 new apartments in this direct couple block vicinity. So it's a really exciting time down here.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's gonna be because yeah, anybody who's been around South Street, they know about the construction that's going on. So
Right, right.
that must be challenging, setting up a whole business through all that.
Absolutely. Yeah, but it's fun. We're right next to the new farmers market. So we get an amazing crowd on Saturdays,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's just going to build more and more.
That's awesome. And yeah, something that we like to uncover on this show, talking with local business owners, we uncover that, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's a lot of challenges that come along with, running a business. And could you just walk us through any early onset challenges and kind of how you guys, got through those?
Yeah, absolutely. So, basically it was just like I said, finding the property, working with, is that going to be an issue? The dog barking back there.
No.
Okay. Perks of the job.
Yeah.
Working with Bonaccio, which has been a fabulous experience, and being able to kind of fit the building to how I envisioned it and working correctly for the flow of the grooming as well as the boutique. And the nice thing is that we're able to grow slow so we can make those tweaks and refine it to really work for us.
That's awesome. Yeah, so we've gotten into a little bit about the boutique. Could you talk about some of the grooming services that you guys provide over there?
Absolutely. Yeah, we do pretty much everything. So full grooms, bath and brush, walk-in nail clippings. We have special packages throughout the year, so that's kind of fun for pet owners to be able to, really focus in on pets or family. So to be able to offer them something unique and different. We've done things such as hair tinsel and longer dogs' hair.
Uh,
We're just starting off with pet safe coloring of the fur. So that's something exciting. But yeah, so really we do all of it. We take any size and all breeds of dogs. We have a little bit experience with cat grooming, one of our groomers, but we haven't quite ventured into that fully yet.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many groomers do you guys now currently
So
have?
we right now we have two, and we
Awesome.
will look to we have enough room to have four full time when it's all said and done.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what would be the easiest way for people to, kind of book?
Right online at Downtown Dog Spa and Boutique. Super easy. You can pick the time and date that works for your schedule, as well as just calling or texting myself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. You guys are fairly new. You said you are official open date was when or
Was November 20th. So
20th. So yeah.
under 2 months still.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you have any, like I said, it's kind of early. But what are the goals, start of January?
Yeah.
Where
So
What's that?
We have a lot of ideas, and a lot of them involve community involvement. So I myself am very passionate about Glens Falls, as well as supporting the different small businesses and organizations that really make this community thrive. So it's getting involved in, how can we help people learn more about service animals? How can we work with organizations that match veterans with service dogs, things like that. It's really important to me to be able to offer that. So that's in the works. Another thing that I'm implementing is a pet loss support group. So something that's not currently really happening in the community, but is such a needed, just an outlet and a time of connection for people that lose their pets, to be able to come together and share their experience and have that support. I took a certification course to be a pet loss specialist to be able to moderate those conversations.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I guess could you has it just kind of been talks of it, or has there been?
Yeah, so we'll probably start in February. I just haven't really fine-tuned the details. It'll be off-site from the boutique and spa. So we'll
Okay.
do it in a local, maybe coffee shop in downtown Glens Falls. Maybe in the summer we'll meet in the park. So, just bringing people together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So just getting back to, I guess, the vibe. Every time I've walked in, whether it's newspapers, ribbon cutting, just stopping in to say hi, the vibes are always so good in that
Yes. Yeah.
in your shop there. Are there are there any funny stories you could share with us
Oh
with the
my goodness.
listeners?
Well, it's quite entertaining when we have a big crowd and a lot of different dogs meeting each other. There's
Yeah.
also so many different smells, and as
Yeah.
you can hear, sounds in the shop. So it's just a fun, like you said, exciting vibe. We can also be very mellow, so it's nice for anxious dogs. We have certain times of day that are better for dogs that might be a little more anxious around other pets or people. So we make sure to prioritize that as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say, is there like if there are tons of dogs, do they have a little play area or do they?
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
couple of little play type areas in the shop. We don't put dogs together unless they're already family dogs. And we don't necessarily crate them. We have, like I said, open spaces.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would always be, having to get back to my work because I would always want to be playing with all the
Oh
fluffy
yeah. That's
friends.
the best part of it, for sure.
Has there been any, I guess, dog specific that you're like, oh, I love seeing this breed come in and
Yeah, I love big dogs. So Saint
yeah.
Bernards,
Oh yeah.
Bernese Mountain Dogs. I have a Corgi Healer mix right now that's very talkative.
You really?
I'm sorry. Is
No.
that
Yeah, it's all right.
you just never know. Some are quite quiet and some are very vocal. So
I yeah, I love it. Yeah, well, um you said you get you're involved with a lot of the community aspects and with the farmers market can the viewers listeners expect to see a table of you of your business at any of these upcoming things that are happening?
well, not at the farmers market, but we will be offering pup cups on Saturdays, free pup cups. If you bring your pup in, they can get one.
Awesome.
But we are very big in the Glens Falls Collaborative. So they do a lot of fantastic events. And one is like ladies' night prior to Christmas. We'll participate in Take a Bite, but I'm going to be calling it Take a Bark. And we'll have, like you said, the dog beer. We'll
Yeah.
have some dog specialty dog pretzels that they can buy while their owners are perusing and trying the local restaurants. The dogs will be able to get something for themselves as well. So fun things like that are in the works.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I guess if we go back to the start when, the idea sparked up, you talked about moving from the corporate world into,
Mhm.
being a freelance. We say over here at Buying Local, the truest path to freedom is entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
If you could kind of go back to your younger self with the, advice, all the knowledge you have now, what would be that one key piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Take the leap,
Yeah.
do it, even when it's scary. It took me a long time to learn that. So just do it. There's never going to be the perfect time.
Do you wish now that obviously you're seeing success here, do you wish that this was, where you started, or do you think you
I think
needed?
I probably needed to have those experience to be able to get to the point of feeling like I could do it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, everything points you in the right direction.
absolutely. Yes, you learn from everything that you do. So
Yeah. Well, our time's running low here, so if there were any questions that I didn't ask you that, now that you would want me to ask, if there were any.
I think we covered it. Like I said, we're really excited to be in the downtown community and looking forward to making more of those community connections and really having a special place for pets and their owners.
Awesome. And if people wanted to learn more about you, what you do, or, just get in contact, book their furry friend with you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Definitely, our website is great, Downtown Dog Spa and Boutique. There's a text me button right on there. It goes right to my phone. I'm very quick at responding. But if you really want to see a day in the life, you would go to our social media pages, Facebook or Instagram. You'll see pictures of the pups posted every single day, and you get a great idea of what we do here.
That's awesome. And thank you again, Alicia, for coming on. And thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks to everybody for listening. And of course, you can find us at buyinglocal.us. We're on Spotify, Apple, Rumble, and YouTube. And just please hit that like and subscribe button. And thank you again for listening to Buying Local. And you'll hear from us next week.